being a boxer isn't an everyday trade that I can take anywhere around the world. Do you know what I mean? It's not something I can do till I'm 50 years old. I just realised I've got a short window and I need to express myself and my talent to the world. So it's a real hustle, man.
Sparring with Joshua, we know that whatever opponents we're going to face in the amateurs, we're going to spar with Joshua. We can expect the best. So it prepares us to be the sharpest and the best that we can be. As I've come out, Fraser's gone in, and it's good to be sharp 3 rounds. You can have another good sharp 3 rounds there.
How I keep positive, I would say, is every time it gets tough, and when I feel like I don't want to do it, there is someone out there in this world laying on a hospital bed, begging for a second chance at life. I'm sitting here healthy, with good friends, heating, light, running tap water. I don't think I have any excuse to not go hard or live life with a smile on my face.
Anthony Joshua is preparing for his fight with Jake Paul with full focus, determined to prove his skills and power to the world.
Who he is.
One more.
You know, so I use YouTube a lot, where there's a lot of videos what I listen to and I update it, and I can always revert back to it when I'm feeling low to get a bit of motivation. Fear comes in many forms. There's some things that I can't get over and I'll always be scared of, but I take the positive from it. Like, I'm never so confident I'm going to win. It's probably the fact that I'm scared to fail.
He's more than a former champion. He's a generational talent, forged through discipline, strength, and elite professionalism. His training camp is intense. Early mornings filled with grueling workouts, sweating long before most people start their day.
No one forces me to do anything. I make the decision myself, and if I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't. So when I'm faced with the challenge, I just embrace it. And what can one man do except for give his best? If you fail, you try again. If you win, you try again and get better. So as long as you maintain and you stay consistent, you'll forever be a winner and a champion, and the people who love you in their eyes, because they support you nevertheless, as long as you're trying again and again and again.
Strength sessions push massive weights with seeming ease, paired with conditioning drills that would exhaust even elite athletes. His footwork is sharp, combinations thunder like artillery, and every sparring partner struggles to keep up. Joshua isn't training to compete, he's training to dominate.
Humble means treat the person who is beneath you in a different class to the same person who's above you in a different class. It's an equal playing field, and we have to treat everyone with the same respect. And that's why, you know, people fight for equality. And I think that's important, and that's why I mix stay hungry and stay humble together in such a fine way that they gel together well. Stay hungry, stay humble.
His coaches say his focus is sharper and colder than ever, more locked in than anything they've seen in years. That same intensity that won him Olympic gold and ruled the heavyweight division drives every drill and every round. And the punch people underestimate, the uppercut. Jake Paul reacts the same way every time he gets shaken, making it Joshua's real weapon.
I hope it's not a game, because I want to see some blood. I want to see somebody's teeth falling out. So I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony. I was like, listen, I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's going to be having a go at you, because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. It has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, you know, people are going to be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia in 1 round.
Jake folds forward, chin tucked, head down, arms tight as if bracing for impact. That's exactly the opening Joshua exploits to land his clean, devastating uppercut. If Jake reacts to a feint and drops low, the uppercut isn't just waiting. It's a hidden trap that can erase a round, disrupt the strategy, and leave a lasting mark on the fight.
Not to mention, Jake Paul slapped a weight restriction clause on Anthony Joshua despite the fact that this is being fought at heavyweight. Now, in case you missed it, AJ is not allowed to weigh in more than 245 pounds for this fight, and for context, AJ has weighed in more than 250 since after his 2022 fight against Alexander Usyk.
And unless Joshua has some kind of moment, hesitation, doubt, or forgets his Anthony Joshua, this fight follows physics. Jake Paul can box, sure, but Joshua is the kind of fighter who ends eras. When a social media star steps in against a true heavyweight with Olympic-level fundamentals and massive power, there's really only one likely outcome. Enter Dan Raphael, whose reaction made it sound like a reporter suddenly trapped inside a disaster movie trailer.
I'm going to say it for you. Okay?
Done. No,
if
please,
Jake
done.
Paul
No.
beats Anthony Joshua by a knockout, this is a million times better than what I always have thought was a very ill-conceived event with Tank Davis. So whatever you think about Jake and some of the types of fights that he has made, you got to give him credit for at least everybody has said for a long time now, fight a real fighter, fight a real boxer. Well, Anthony Joshua was absolutely a real boxer, a real fighter.
Then basically says, sure, AJ's coming off a 14-month layoff, fresh from elbow surgery and that Du Bois knockout that looked like someone unplugged in mid-fight. But even with all that, he's still dangerous enough to compete with any heavyweight on the planet. And is not wrong. Jake Paul has improved. Fair credit. Moving from influencer-style swings to structured combinations. But Dan's sources, the matchmakers and architect of the sport, are looking at this fight like Jake accidentally switched the settings to legendary mode without realizing it.
Can't deny that. Like you said, two-time world champion, Olympic gold medalist. Now, he may not be at what he was when he was absolute peak. There's no doubt that Anthony Joshua was beyond his apex of his career. Mm-hmm. But even though he'll be coming off of about a 14-month layoff.
Yeah.
He's coming off having had surgery on his elbow. He's coming off of a very, very, very difficult, brutal, hard knockout loss in the Dubois fight.
One insider even used the word decapitation, and you could almost see Dan holding back a laugh. Like, let's not get demonetized here. It makes sense. Experts are scratching their heads, promoters are sweating, and journalists are talking like it's a disaster movie. This isn't just bravery, it's a full-on day. Jake took it anyway, and now everyone's watching to see if guts turn into genius or just a wild highlight reel. Either way, December 19th is shaping up to be pure chaos.
Jake Paul certainly has gotten better since he fought Tommy Fury. He's certainly gotten better over the last number of fights. Now, is he at an elite, world-class level? Probably not yet. He may never get to that level, but so you got to give him props. He's taken on a guy that I spend part of my morning talking to different boxing matchmakers, people I've known for decades in this business, who have vast experience of building fighters and moving fighters and developing them, and they know a lot better than you or me what they're looking at. And to a person, they were like, they don't understand why Jake took this fight because they think it's, one person used the word of decapitation.
And just when Dan Raphael had us picturing Jake as a lab rat in a physics experiment, Chael's son steps in with full I told you so energy, narrating like he's previewing Jake Paul's inevitable consequences. He breaks it down with smirks, confirmations, denials, and commission calls, basically boxing Sherlock Holmes making one point. If nobody objects, it usually means, yep, they're all in on this disaster. Chael frames Jake stepping in like the classic warning about a big red button, then grinning because he knows you'll press it anyway. We're all watching Jake stride confidently into a heavyweight storm, sunglasses on, camera crew in tow, ready for chaos.
Jake Paul has abilities to win this fight. A lot of them involved moral victories. A lot of them involved getting out of the first round. And a lot of them would involve getting out of the first 2 rounds and haven't been knocked down yet. One would be getting out of the 3rd round, you've only been on the canvas once, and you got up to your feet, you shook it off, and you're ready to keep going. Like, these things are all victories, but the fight that it's going to happen, I think it's a big deal for Jake Paul. I think it's a big deal for everybody involved. I think it's a big deal that Francis looks at that fight and realizes, oh, these things make sense. These things that make dollars, they make sense. That's his business. This was his opportunity that he missed out on. And now Joshua's gonna have a lot of fun.
Then Chael drops the real bomb. Fans finally see what they've been waiting for. A true boxer. Real size, real danger, real consequences. Strip away the hype, and this fight looks like someone dared Jake to run headfirst into a brick wall just to see what happens. Chael hands out moral victories like participation trophies. Survive a round, make it through to, stand back up, boom, that's your prize. Meanwhile, AJ stays calm, a man who handled Francis Ngannou like it was cardio with commentary. Now he faces real risk, real speed, and genuine heavyweight power behind every strike. Chael's right. Forget the exhibition clauses. As long as both swing at full throttle, the rules are just decoration. Jake Paul's critics, they are front row, popcorn in hand, strapped in for the ride.
Acting it out like Dana. So it's a very bad idea. Because it's everything that everybody's ever wanted they're going to be given. Dana said, be careful with what you ask for. And what Dana's talking about is they want to see Josh Paul fight a seasoned, in his prime, of his size, real boxer. And that's what Joshua is. So Dana's talking about you're going to get what you asked for. Well, what you asked for is a real fight. What you asked for is for somebody with the power and the danger to beat your ass. What you, the audience, have asked for Jake Paul is that you want to see somebody end this experiment.
And sliding from Chael's detective-style breakdown straight into Carl Frucker's primetime rant, the intensity spikes immediately. Fruck doesn't just roll his eyes, he swings hard. He calls it Clown World, labels Jake a clown, and declares AJ done at the elite level. Frucker's takedown is pure, unfiltered TV. 10-ounce gloves, 8 3-minute rounds, 1-round commentary. It lands. But here's the key point. You can agree with Fruck that this fight leans toward payday and spectacle, and still recognize that AJ has the tools to make it quick and brutal. Punching power doesn't negotiate, it just arrives. If Joshua comes in focused, that uppercut, the tight 1-2 down the center, could end it before Jake posts his first motivational tweet. Fruck calls it a mismatch. I see him fueling the hype. Whether it's a mismatch or a statement fight depends entirely on AJ's focus when the bell rings, not the pundits' hot takes.
Fake Paul is the A-side. He wanted to be the A-side, so it's build Fake Paul, Anthony Joshua, but I mean, AJ's agreed to it because the old bunts, money talks, done it, but yeah. Fake Paul, Anthony Joshua, in that order. How's he the A-side? Never even fought a heavyweight in the professional capacity, and he's jumping in with AJ. We'll get into it now. So Jake Paul said this isn't an AI simulation. He's probably going to hope it is when AJ starts clumping him around the ear hole. I don't think that'll last long as soon as he lands. This is Judgment Day. I thoroughly hope.
Let's be real. Frucker's theatrics keep things entertaining. But here's a serious angle. This fight is a real test for modern boxing. If AJ times it right, controls the distance, and lands that uppercut the moment Jake dips, it's a classic knockout, silencing the circus, securing a payday, and proving why heavyweight power still matters. But if Joshua hesitates, drifts into exhibition mode, or treats it like a cameo, the internet will tear him apart, and Frucker's career over narrative will dominate headlines. Either way, we're watching a front row spectacle, a heavyweight showcase of skill and punishment, or a moment where entertainment overshadows sport. Personally, I'm here for both, the drama and the lesson. One clean AJ knockout for the doubters, and a flood of memes for the rest. What do you think? Should AJ cash out in style or focus on legacy?
If this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and Fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury for crying out loud. You can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, like, nothing's going to no doubt's going to disappear. All that's going to happen is going to be the end of Fake.
After all the chaos, all the takes, and the legends weighing in like it's a heavyweight summit, here's my take. This fight isn't just another bout. It's a measure of the sport itself. Legacy versus hype, raw power versus audacity, and pure physics versus social media bravado. We're front row, watching to see if Jake Paul pulls off the wildest twist of the decade, or if Anthony Joshua proves that heavyweight reality doesn't negotiate with hype. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this a miracle, a mismatch, or the most entertaining destruction in years? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you next time.